Hi there, welcome to a fresh new double cube tutorial. And today in this tutorial we're going to be learning to create this primitives wallpaper completely in Cinema 4D. I mean, not completely in Cinema 4D, a little bit of After Effects as well. So we're going to be doing all this part, the modeling part and all stuff in Cinema 4D, and render out some multipasses and then composite them in After Effects to get us a final image. I think this is going to be a pretty quick tutorial. So let's get to it. So here in my new project, I'm going to go to the render settings and change it to 1280 by 720 frames. Sorry, 1280 by 720 pixels. And what we want to do is we want to go and grab a cube, and we want to set the Y size to 20, and you want to bring that down to say 130 on the Y. And then what we want to do is we want to grab okay, actually I'm going to go and select a few primitives. So in my original example here we used a cube, a sphere, a cone, a platonic object, and a torus. So let me see if we can add in something else. So we want a cube, we want a cone, let's add in a cylinder, let's add in a sphere, let's add in a torus, let's add in a pyramid, let's add a platonic object, and I think that would do. So I'm going to select all these, and I'm going to go and put all these in a cloner object. Okay, and then what we want to do is we want to go and scale all these objects really down. So we scale them down and down pretty much as we can get, and then we want to go to the cloner, go to grid array, choose grid array in the mode, and we want to set the size to 150 on the X, 65 on the Y, and 165 on the Z size. And hitting this torus is pretty big, so let me scale it down. Okay, now what we're going to do is we want to increase the count, so we're going to say around 10 by 10 by 10. We want around these many clones, and then we're going to go right click, go to simulation tags, and add a rigid body tag. And we're going to go copy, not actually copy, let's go to the cube, and we're going to choose a collider body, and we're going to select both of these, and here in the collision tab I'm going to set the bounce to 0 and the friction to 150. Okay, and now let's play and see what we get. So we get this huge chunk of just like that. In order to fix that, we want to go and take this dynamics body and put it on each of the individual objects we have under the cloner. So I'm just holding control, dragging down and leaving. Okay, now let us hit play. Now we see everything like blasts out and explodes, because that is not what we want. We want to select all these, and we want to scale them down to such an amount that they are not touching each other. So we can increase this up a little bit. Now let's let's play. Beautiful. Right, now let's zoom in and see what we have. Okay, I can actually go to the cloner. I'm going to set that to 9 by 9 by 9, and then we're going to go back. You're going to select all these and probably scale them up a little. Okay, and then we want to go to the cloner, and here in the clones I want to choose random, so that it randomizes all the clones, and also choose render instances. And now let's play down, and we can see our animation is a bit faster because of the render instances checked on. So what we do is we want to grab a camera, and you want to go to the camera and set the focal length to say 60. Let's look into the camera, and we want to go and The H rotation, I'm going to set that to 65 and minus 45, and the X position is going to be 115, the Y position is going to minus 15, sorry, minus 55, and Z is going to be minus 65. Okay, oops. We're going to set the Y to minus 15. So now this is how it would look. Now if you want, we can go back and we can actually, let's go and choose the cloner and go to MoGraph effector and choose a random effector. And here in the random effector, in the parameters, we want to uncheck position and we want to go to rotation and set the HPV rotation to say around 20 by 20 by 20, and we need to make sure that in the cloner, in the effectors tab, the random effector is in place. Now let's hit play and we see it all like drops down. Now looks like we'll be needing more clones to fill up all these black spots, so I'm going to go to the cloner, and in the object I'm going to set the count of this to say something like 15 on the X, and then let's play again, and boom, we have a lot more clones. Okay, maybe we can set that down to 13. Let's hit play again, and whatever suits the best. Okay, I think this looks perfect, so let's just go with further till it all settles down. So say around 50, and we are going to save it as this frame. So now simple texturing, so let's go and grab a material. Let's look into the material. I'm going to set the color of this to black, go to reflection, set the brightness to 5, go to texture, add a Fresnel texture and set the mixin to 25. Okay, so we're going to take this and drop it on the base cube over here, and then we want to go and duplicate it, say 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 times. So 1 2 3 4 5 6 7, and we want to change the color of all these to get different colors. So just go and select each one of them, and I'm going to choose a yellow color over here, and we're going to go and set this to a green color. The next one, let's say we want a light blue, like a cyan type color. Oops. Okay, and I'm going to select this one. We're going to choose a dark blue color. I'm going to select this one. Next one, maybe choose a pink color, and this one, say let's go for a purple color, something like that. Looks pretty much the same, so how do I get a purple? Yes, that's a purple color, and we're going to go and take and drag it on each of the individual objects. So drop, and drop. Okay, so it looks something like this. The next thing we want to do is we want to go and choose a HDRI. So I'm going to be using an HDRI by HDRI Studio Pack. So I'm just going to click on the HDRI Studio Rig, or what you guys can do if you do not have this is you can go and create a sky object, and you can go and grab a new material and uncheck the color and the specular, go to reflection, and then we can choose, sorry, not reflection, the luminance, and we can go to texture and put in any HDRI map or studio HDRI, and then we can take this material and drop it on the screen. And we can go to Cinema 4D tags, go to compositing tag, and we can uncheck scene by camera. So what that does is, it is not seen by the camera, but you practically would not need the HDRI, the compositing tag, because the scene is not showing all that stuff. Okay, so we can delete the sky, and in the HDRI, I'm going to be using a, let's see, Studios, probably, you can use whatever you want, but I think I'm going to go with the 3 softbox studios. So HDRI controls, 3 softbox, you can use anything you want. Okay, so that is pretty much it. The last thing I want to do is you want to go to Effect, Ambient Occlusion, Effect, Global Illumination. I'm just going to set samples to low and the radius cache to low. And we go to anti-aliasing, we want to set that to best, and we want to go to multipass, and we want to save some stuff. So we want to save specular, shadow, reflection, ambient occlusion, and we want to go to post effects. Okay. So we want to save it as a PNG with a depth of 16, same PNG, depth 16, and you want to save it in your, okay, and then we want to render it out. Let's just make a quick render of this and see how it looks. So it's still rendering, and this is pretty much how it would look. So we got some nice reflections over here, we got nice materialing, cool stuff. Okay, so once we're done with this, we're going to jump into After Effects and do the compositing. So here I am in After Effects, and this is the original scene that I created. And this is, I'm not going to be putting everything from the scratch, but I'll show you how to get the post effects done. So the first thing is we have the primitives wallpaper, the main one, the main render which we got from Cinema 4D. And the next one is we want to put in the ambient occlusion, and we want to set the blending mode to multiply. So, and then we put that on, we can see slight variation in the ambient occlusion. And I just reduced down the opacity to say 15, and if I increase it to 20%, we can see more. If I increase it to 100, we can see complete, shadowing. So I'm just going to set that to 15. So once on top of that, we're going to put the specular. So I'm going to set this to add, and you actually can't see the specular change pretty much. So, but let me just try. So you can see the specular. Actually, I have nothing. Let's just go to some other place and see. So I don't think you can probably see the specular hit that much, but I set the blending mode to add, and the next we want to add in our reflection and set that to add as well, and the opacity is going to be 100. So once we have all that, I'm going to add in the depth. So if I put on the depth, you can see here that this end is kind of blurry. So how we want to do that is when we go to we want to create a new composition and call it depth, and in the depth we want to add in a black solid, and on top of that we want to add in a white solid with a mask by selecting the mask tool and creating a rectangular mask, and we want to set the feather to say around 410. Once that is done, we want to drag that composition from the project here, and we want to hide it. Then on a new adjustment layer, we want to go and choose the camera lens blur. I'm going to set the blur radius to 6, and here the layer we want to set that to depth. Once we've done that, I want to go, the usual setting would be like this, where the invert blur map is not checked, and so the middle is blur and the opposite, the edges are not blurred. So if I invert the map, we can see that the edges are blurred, and the threshold I'm set that to 255, and the focus distance you will have to change according to where you want it to be. Next we want to go and add a new adjustment layer, and we can go, and I added a color balance first, where in the color balance I set the green balance to 8 for the shadows, and in the curves I want to run the green channel again. You can choose any color you want and change the settings, and I just give it a nice dual S curve. And the last one is I added a tint, and I set the amounts to 15. So let me just hide all of these. So this is how it will look originally. With the color balance, we can see the amount of green, amount of green, and with the curves we can see a little bit more contrast, and with a tint we can see it more little black. Okay, so that is pretty much it for the tutorial, guys. Hope this was really informative and you learned something new. So thank you very much for watching this tutorial, and hope to see you in other future tutorials. Please like, share, comment, subscribe. You can comment about anything. Just comment about how the tutorial is, any changes that would make this tutorials look better or anything like that. And please give it a like, because it's really encouraging and gives a lot of support to us, support to me, not us. So once again, thank you very much, and hope to see you in a future tutorial. Bye bye.